Hello, I'm HQ of HQ Reacts. If you find yourself here and you're not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. If you find me on other social media platforms, please follow me, like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. So, you can catch me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm sorry, guys. We're back at it again with letters to my marriage. I always get on that mute button because I hate to, mute to be people to hear all the stuff that goes in the background, right? So we didn't do it last week. We'll do it this week. Letters to my marriage. And we have some good letters here today. And to talk about why marriage has so many oddball problems and why do we have similar problems all the time, right? People have similar problems all the time. And it's like the only thing I can think of is people are human and they don't understand the complexity of being married or wanting to stay married and how to do that. And then I came up with this week. The SOP, the SOP of being married, standard operating procedures of being married. And somehow I'll figure out the SOPs. I'll come up with some SOPs. But one of those SOPs is you cannot spend time with single people acting like a single person. Okay? You cannot do that. And SOPs of relationships. And I'd love a list. I'd love other people who could think of SOPs when it comes to relationship, because we all have different views of this, that, and the third, but there should be some SOPs about what your behavior should be like when you get married. And it should, and I'm not talking about you should be able to cook, clean, and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you get into a relationship, before you do anything, before you go in, you should think about what your spouse wants before you do X, Y, and Z. When it comes to vacationing with your girls, going out to the bar with the boys, what is your standard operating procedure when you are in a relationship? Because this is why I said it, because the other day, someone said to me, "Oh, I don't mind if my husband go to a strip bar. I don't mind if my husband go to the strip club." What? Wait. Did you just say that to me? And if somebody going to the strip club doesn't bother you. Your husband going to the strip club doesn't bother you in any way, shape, or form. That your husband, just think about what you just said. My husband's form of entertainment is looking at nude women and having lap dances. That's your husband's idea of entertainment. And that in and of itself should give you an idea of whether you or him should be married. Because It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. If it's both of y'all like strip club, that's how y'all get excited. That's how y'all rev y'all's engine up. But there's no way a husband or a wife should be going to a strip club and you don't have anything to say, or you don't have any kind, oh, I don't mind. No, it ain't no big deal. Okay. Yes, the wheels have already fallen off when something like that happens. She said it bold as day. Oh, I don't mind if my husband go to a strip club. No. Special occasion if someone else makes the suggestion. Like your boy is getting married and he wants to go to a strip club, or your boss says entertain these people. We made a reservation at strip club, or blah blah blah. But never just to be going to a strip club. That's just one layer ripped away from the fabric of a relationship. That's just one layer ripped away. And as I said, it would bother me. I'm just saying it would bother me. Maybe I'm just crazy like that. Why would you need to go? Just what I said before. Your husband thinks going to a strip club for entertainment is a good thing. He gets entertained by seeing chicks jiggle their body all over the stage. That ain't yours. That ain't yours. And loves to have laugh dances. No, we're talking about SOPs, standard operating procedures that people should have when they get married. And I find that a lot of people don't understand what the SOPs of a marriage are. And they violate the boundaries of marriage all the time. No, it's not a matter of a man being blind, but a man is supposed to have eyes for his wife. Not everybody in the neighborhood. See, the whole point is, I shouldn't just be grateful because you gave me a ring. That's not, these days, that's not how marriage is going to work. If you want, and I keep going back to that 70%, 80% of men getting divorces. If you want that number to go down, then you have to be an attentive husband as well as a husband. Okay? You just can't come in the door, kick your shoes off, and talk crazy to her. I'm gonna do what I want to do, blase woo. No. And somebody reminded me the other day, and then I'll read a letter. Somebody reminded me the other day, and I found a video about it yesterday. Women who got married back, my mother got married, when my mother and my grandmother got married, they got married because those were the resources available for those women. Those women didn't have resources for themselves. Those women could not get any other kind of resource. They didn't have access to other resources, credit cards, housing, all that. So they didn't have access to anything unless they got married. They didn't stay married. A lot of women did not stay married because they were in love with grandpa. They stayed married because the resources were there. The protection for their children were there. All of those things were there if they got married. Now women have the option to get married. They have the option because they can get their own resources. They can pay for their own resources. And now that women work outside the home and men work outside the home, then men have to do everything inside the home, just like a female has to do everything inside the home. So when people get married, you're not just getting married and going to work and then coming home, kick your feet. No, you're coming home and doing the same thing that female is doing. Otherwise, she's not going to be married. Otherwise, you're not going to be married for long. Okay. These days, women don't need to get married. So their companion, their partner, their husband has to step up and do the same things they do. That's why they're opting, a lot of them are opting out of marriage. Okay. Because that's where that slavery thing comes from. I'm beginning to understand what the women, I'm not agreeing with the women. I'm saying, I understand when they say you're trying to sign them up for slavery. You're trying to sign them up to do all of the wifely duties and you don't get to do any. No, you just don't provide money. You have to do more than that. I'm just saying. So I'm saying some of these people, marriage SOPs in a marriage. If you think of one that's not specific, but it's a general rule for people who need to and want to get married, please put it in the chat, because I would love to write some down and have a list of SOPs that people, and some of them are obvious and some of them are not. So I'm saying, if you have an idea, please put them down. Okay. Slavery. No, I'm not saying slavery equals marriage. I'm saying women these days think of slavery as marriage as slavery, because people want to take them back to traditional road. They don't want to go back to that. Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter whether they make as much. Women make just as much money as men. Black America. I don't know where you fell into that trap where they don't. Women make just as much money as men. They don't need to be married to have access to money. They just don't. So therefore, they're opting out. They'd rather have peace. They'd rather have whatever than to get married. So getting married for money, women don't need to get married for money because they make enough money. Okay. I just said people say slave. That's that whole slavery mentality thing people are talking about. I'm not saying I said it. I'm saying women these days are saying it. The young generation today is saying it. And women make more money, and women make just as much money as men. I've never ran into a profession where a woman makes $20, but a man makes $40. No. No, women are not these days. It's not women pushing marriage. It's men who are pushing marriage. What do you mean? Men are the ones pushing marriage. They want women to be in a box, and women are saying they don't want to be in that box. So women don't want to do what the men are doing, but it's the men who are trying to shame the women into getting into that box. Okay. But they don't want to be in that box. I said this before. Me and you got to come to the table. You got to come to the table with something. You can't just come to the table with a job, because women don't want to get married without, some other shit. So I don't know. I ain't trying to get married, so I wouldn't even begin. But I do know they think of marriage as slavery, but it's not. You have to have the right partner. The right partner. So I'm reading this first letter, and it's related to this marriage that may be in trouble. So she didn't want to give too many identifiers, so she'll do her best. Okay. They've been married for 24 years. They have 3 kids. 2 are old, grown, and 1 is a teen. But they're all living still at home. Why y'all be thinking I'm gaslighting? Gaslighting means I'm telling you a lie for you to believe the lie. I don't tell you to lie to believe the lie. What do you mean? That's gaslighting. Please hit the like button. They've been married for 24 years. They have 3 kids, 2 grown, 1 teen, but they all live in the house. Okay? Live in the same house. We both work full time. He owns a business. I work and go to school. Good income, good house. He wants to move back to his home country. his home country. He says he's miserable here, and she's known that for a long time. They tried to move back a couple years ago, but they couldn't find work. They couldn't make enough money. Living with the mother-in-law, they was like, oh, hell no. So they came back for stability, came back to the United States. Okay. They got a house. They resumed the business that he had, and she got a job. She will add a caveat that she had childhood trauma from an alcoholic home. Wow. Domestic abuse and divorce. My husband has now given me an ultimatum that he is going to move back to his home country, and I will have to decide if I want to come with him. But he's going with or without me. With or without me. If I don't go, it's a divorce. I was leaning towards going back for a while with him, but our 2 children won't come with us. So it's just me and our youngest child and my husband who would be going to this foreign country. No job. He says I can get a job. He says I can get a job because I have a degree. I will have no support there. He has his family, but I don't really trust them, and there's family drama. She's torn. She feels bad. He says the only compromise is moving back to his home country. I can give more details, but that's in a nutshell. I did ask for marriage counseling. He agreed, but it won't change his mind. In arguments, he can get really nasty and say really mean things, and he has a quick temper. I pointed this out yesterday, and he said, it's not like I hit you. Calm down. I told him what he says sometimes is abusive, and he says he's just expressing himself. Wow. My oldest is 22, and my other child is 19 and is struggling with mental illness. Wow. So he wants her to go, and if she doesn't go, it's divorce. So I say there must have been there are issues along the way, because there's no way that your husband, your spouse that is loving, that is supportive, that wants the things that you want, that wants to be a good spouse, would say to you, you either coming or you're not. I get that he misses his home, his country. But why did you all move here in the first place? Why did he move here in the first place? Okay. Why did you move here? You moved here for a reason, and then you found me. You found me and married me, and we had 3 children together. Our children are United States citizens. Okay. So it depends on how he said what he said. I would let him go. I couldn't. The whole point is she doesn't want to leave the children here to go somewhere, no matter their age. Depends on what the relationship was like before this conversation of going to his foreign country. If they were getting along and the marriage was moving along and it was in good shape, I probably would go with him. And then the children are grown. They would have an option. There's all kinds of Skype, iPad, all that. You could Skype and talk to your kids every day. But the child that's 17 or 16 or however, that child would have to go with you all. But that wouldn't be a big problem, because if your child is old enough to adapt to the world around him, he would understand that they would be going to a foreign country. Okay. But if you and your husband are not getting along and you're questioning the whole point of you going, you're questioning, well, maybe I don't want to go down there. See, if me and my husband were getting along and we were getting along and then we didn't have no problem, it wouldn't be a problem. But if we weren't getting along, we would have to stabilize that marriage before I went to a foreign country. Okay. Maybe they could live apart. A lot of Mexican people do it. They come up here and work, and then they put their money together and send it home. Maybe if he goes home and he lives there for a little bit, figures out that he want do you really want to go there? Okay. Okay. I'm not saying he's a villain. I'm not saying that at all. She said some things in a letter that made me think something is wrong in the marriage. It was something in the letter, the way she talked. It was something. Look, excuse me. She said in arguments, he can get nasty and say really mean things to me. And he has a quick temper. Okay. The whole point is there's friction in that marriage already. When you have gotten to the point where you are screaming and hollering and verbally abusive, there's more going on. It doesn't take a minute. It doesn't take a scientist to believe that it could cross into the physical. They're not getting along. Why is he verbally abusing her? According to her, we can't go by anything else. Okay. No. What do you mean she's looking for demons? She just said he's verbally abusive to her. Okay. His only compromise is moving back. She asked for marital counseling. He said no. Oh, he agreed, but it won't change his mind. He's still going. That means that you have given me an ultimatum, and I'm not even sure that I want to be bothered or want to have anything to do with moving. Excuse me. So I would tell him, I will go with you. I would tell him I would go. I would go with him. Let me put it this way. I would go with him. See how we do the first 6 months. See how we do the first year. If he agrees to have counseling in the other country, marital counseling in the other country, some kind of counseling, verbal abuse. See, I'm not going to put up with verbal abuse. I'm just gonna alienate myself. I'm just gonna take myself out of it. Once I feel as though you're denigrating me or you're making me feel some type of way because of the way you speak and the way you talk to me, I'm not gonna let it get to the point where you talk to me like that. Because I remember saying to Fee one time, I don't like the way you talk to me, and that's unacceptable. The way you want to talk to me, you don't get to talk to me however you want to just because I'm married to you. You don't get to go, and you better not call me a name. That should be the furthest thing from your mind. And we're gonna have to talk, and we're gonna have to compromise. Because the minute you denigrate what I'm saying, the minute you talk out of pocket with me, is the minute this marriage has to be over, right? So it's a matter of you accepting. Yeah, they've been together 20 years now. He doesn't speak right. Then after 20 years, then you definitely need to go. You definitely need to go. Because nobody should be calling you, nobody should be telling you you're stupid, you're ignorant, you don't know, blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Nobody should be saying those things when you're in a marriage. But here's the thing. A lot of people don't deal with ultimatums well. When you give a person an ultimatum, the conversation is over, right or wrong. And then it's not about a conversation, it's about control. I could look at it that way. You told me I have to go. Otherwise, this marriage is over. I have to go. Does that sound right? Does that sound fair that he gets to say, if you don't come, the marriage is over? Okay. I say, I light myself on fire to keep a man safe and warm in his own damn country. I ain't finna do that. If he wants to go, you gonna go. Because he deserves peace, and so do you. It sounds like if you decide you're not gonna go with him, the marriage is over. Do you want the marriage to be over? That's the first question you need to be asking yourself. Do you want the marriage to be over? Okay. Do you want that? If a man makes a plan and he doesn't consider his wife's feelings and he doesn't consider what this impact will have on everyone, then yes, it is controlling. Okay. I remember talking to a man a couple weeks ago, and he said to me, he said, if I retire from work, all I have to do is do that reverse mortgage thing. I could do the reverse mortgage thing, and I could not work. I could stay at home with my sick wife. I could stay at home with my sick wife, not have to work if I did the reverse mortgage thing. He said, I had a conversation with my wife, and my wife said she's afraid, blah, 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 da, da, da. And he said, there's no reason to be, I'm 65, she's 6, she's almost 70. If we get into trouble we ain't gonna get into trouble paying the rent, because the reverse mortgage is gonna pay the rent. We don't have to worry about anything. And I said, okay, well then why don't you do it? I mean, why don't you do it? You had a conversation with, she said she didn't want to do that. Why don't you do it? He said, because I don't ever make a decision without considering what my wife wants. Even if I want to do it, if she says no and she gives me a reason for her saying no, I don't do it. And you men are out here saying, oh, he makes a plan, he takes control, she has to do what he said. That's not how a marriage works. Not a marriage that you want to be a part of. I was thinking to myself, I said, oh, okay, he said that him and his wife are partners. He don't make no major decisions without her. If she don't like it, he won't do it. Okay. So no, not what he said, not what we said. No, what you said, what I said was, what she said was, he says the only compromise he is making is moving back to his home country. That's the only compromise he's making. So what part did I get wrong? I didn't get any part wrong. You all got the part wrong. He said he's moving back regardless of what she says. That's controlling. Okay. So yes, she has to decide whether she wants to go, whether she wants to do that. Okay. Yeah, that's why. A lot. That's why, because he wanted to do certain things and he felt like he needed to do them as a man, but he didn't take into consideration that his wife didn't want to do them. So instead of her being miserable, him be miserable, or vice versa. That's the whole point of you having compromises and talking things through in a marriage. You don't just get to walk in the door and say, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. and she has to accept it. That's not how marriage is run. That's why there's a lot of miserable people that are married, because you feel like X, Y, and Z. And this takes it back to the SOP. Okay. You used to lead your way. That's why I take it back to the SOP, standard operating procedures, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a marriage. One of those SOPs is you not making major unilateral decisions for our family just because you have a dick between your legs. That's not how that works in marriages. Somebody's going to have resentment. And both of you, if you have two different sides, you need to have a discussion to flesh out why you said no, why I said yes, why you said no. And then you come to the best decision. Not you get to come in the door and tell me I got to move to another foreign country. I don't fucking know nobody there. I don't know nobody there. I would find it an adventure. I would throw myself into it and have it be successful, have it try to be as successful as I can. And if it's not successful, then I would come to my husband and say, this is not working for me because of X, Y, and Z. But no way, shape, or form would I sit there and him come to me and say, we going back to El Salvador, and you're regardless of what you want, we're going back to El Salvador. That don't even make no sense. Okay. So yes, I get what she's saying. I get what he's saying, but he has he misses his home country. Go back there often. Go visit. Go take a vacation there. See how you like it. See whether you want to stay there. You go there for the first 6 months, hon. See how it works for you. And I'll follow up in 3 months after we finish doing what we got to do. You get there and you find a job, you find a place to stay. You do all of that stuff. Set us up. But there's no reason to dictate those kind of things, because that's not going to make her. That's not going to enamor her to you, and it's not going to enamor you to her, or vice versa. It's just going to be a means to an ends to the end of that marriage. I'm telling you, the SOPs, because men, you keep thinking, no, I don't think, and I have never thought just because you make a decision without consulting me that it's controlling. That's not the point. You're not getting the point. The point is major decisions in a family are made with both partners, not just the man, with both partners. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying both partners have to say. If both of you are on opposite ends of the issue, then you need to have a discussion, a logical, rational, hey, hon, I need you to write down 5 reasons why you think we should go to Costa Rica. And I'm going to write down the 5 reasons why I think we shouldn't go to Costa Rica. And let's go over those reasons. Maybe your reasons are better than mine, hon. And maybe mine's are better than yours. And maybe you can see my side, and maybe I can see yours, and maybe we can come to a compromise. Okay, we'll try it for 6 months, blah, blah, blah. But you don't get to come in the door and say, we just going to Costa Rica and you need to get your shit packed. That's not how marriages work. Okay. And if you think that's how marriages work, I'll show you an unhappy wife or an unhappy husband. And I'll show you a marriage that's spiraling the drain. Now, letter number 2, please. My husband, my demands as a wife. are too much for my husband. Yes, that's what 2025, that's what marriages are these days, Black America. It's not one where you get to make all the decisions. That's not how marriages work. Hello, Zeus. That's why we
Hello, H. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying that's why we have a 70-80% divorce rate, because people are not
Because of the strip
aligned.
club. Because of the strip club.
No, because people are not aligned with their understanding of what marriage, their SOPs in a marriage. They're not aligned. That's why we have these problems in marriages. People keep why do men think partnership is a dirty word? That's what a marriage is. If you talk to most women, most human beings, they're going to say partnership. Even men, some men say that. Why is that a dirty word, Zeus?
First of all, HQ, thank you for having me on the panel. I appreciate everybody in the group. I want to let you know, no matter what happens, I love you.
Okay.
I think these conversations are tough to have, but I appreciate everybody bringing their different voice to it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, you can be in a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
but see, I think we think a partnership is 50-50. It's not.
No.
A partnership, you should be playing your strong points in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Your strong points is not every area.
Mm-hmm.
When I work with a company, I have a strong point. And then there's sometimes where I don't say anything because I'm not adding value to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two things. There's feedback and there's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a lot of female energy loves giving their opinion and not their feedback.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation that you're talking about, first red flag I heard way in the story, she's a 40-year-old college student.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can't be the queen of decisions and be a 40-year-old college student. I'm a fan. I'm a big nerd. I'm a fan of getting educated.
Well, there's nothing. I don't think it's a red flag that she goes that
Of
she's going
course you
to
don't.
college.
Of course you don't. Go
What's
ahead.
wrong with go? I'm saying, what's wrong with going to college?
Is that what I said?
No,
Enter the gaslighting. Go ahead.
no. You said something. I want to. You made it sound as though there's something wrong with college. You brought it up.
I
What's wrong?
didn't. And I also said I'm a big nerd. So how did you get offense to that? See, that's gaslighting.
I'm not offended.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying.
Well,
If we've been married 20 years
mm-hmm.
and you're a college student and you're in your 40s, you can't be the queen of decisions. You can't be the queen of, because there's money being made. Does he have more opportunities back at home? Is he seeing where he's at closing and something else is opening? That's what he's saying. So also I wrote in the chat, I have stories. I have stories of women who did the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
3 kids, 4 kids. They went to college, they got their PhD, and now their husband's an idiot. All of a sudden, they know everything and they don't want to follow. They want to spend all their time bucking and throwing their opinions and everything.
Oh, okay. I read it wrong. I read it wrong. I read it wrong. I work at a school. I'm a person that works at a school. She don't go to college. Okay, I read that wrong. She doesn't go to college. She works at a school. Okay,
Okay, I got you. I got
I
you.
had to go back. I had to go back and see why she was in college. I said to myself, okay, let me go back and see. It's not that she's in college. She works at a college or school. Okay, all right. With that being said, what was wrong with her? What was wrong with her? No, what was wrong with the approach that I said? We have to, you come up with 5, 10 reasons why you think it would be a positive for our family to move to El Salvador. And I'll come, and since I don't think it would be a good idea, I will come up with whatever reasons you think I think that might not be a good idea if I'm the one that's against it. And then we flesh out those reasons why. And maybe we'll come to an agreement. maybe we'll come to an understanding as to why you want to go and why I don't want to go. What's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything was wrong with that. That's feedback.
No, I'm saying give me a scenario where that would not be a good idea to do that. Is that how you would approach it? How would you approach it if your wife came and she was from, I don't freaking know, uh England, London,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, I want to go back home because I miss my family. But you were like, well, I don't, wait a minute, I don't think, what would you do? Honey, I
Well,
want to go back. I want to go back to my home country. I want to blah blah blah. What you think?
I think I would I would say, okay, let's write down a timeline. Let's write down that. And okay, in that timeline, if we move back, what would it cost us? What would it take, et cetera, et cetera? I got a buddy who went through that with his wife.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I would say, what would we do in the same timeline, plan B, if you went and visit 2 times a year?
Right.
What would we do
Right.
if
Right.
the whole family went
Mm-hmm.
once a year or once every 2 years? Like, and then make a hybrid fourth plan of all that.
Okay, that's what we would do. That sounds like the compromise on both ends of the so we would flesh the whole idea out. But what if I came to you and I said, no, I'm moving back. You can either come or you can't. I'm moving back.
Okay, what I'm saying to you, there's a step missing. So I think a lot of times we think people are adults making adult decisions. They're not. She said she got alcohol and drug addiction in her family. So there's a book by a guy called John Bradshaw. John Bradshaw writes this thing called the isms. So if you never had drug and alcohol in your life, or if you never touched one or the other, but you grew up around people who had that, you're going to pick up behaviors that they have that will sabotage a healthy relationship. It'll sabotage a healthy job. It's a trauma element that's always with you that you have to constantly deactivate. It's
Are,
when
are those people?
hold on, sister girlfriend. Hold on, sister girlfriend. When you see the police cams and you see somebody in a situation real simple and you like all they had to do with this, but they go the opposite way. But when they go the opposite way, they push the gas pedal so hard, you like, they didn't give anybody a choice. That's what happens when you have childhood trauma and you don't manage it. I work with men who've been married 30 years plus, and they had those traumas pop up. And I'm like, no, you got to see this part of the trauma to stop these three other things that's going on. If they don't know how to pull their foot off the gas and take a break, they'll cause a collision course and then mess it up for everybody. That's what I'm saying. She's had 3 kids with this guy. They've been together 20 years.
24 years.
Did that make the conversation better? Because you said 24. Stop it.
No.
My point is, they've been married 20 plus years, and she's starting to paint this very low key. He's talking to me. He's making me feel unsafe. He's doing these things, and I don't know. He could explode. And you've been with him 20 years. Y'all should be able to figure out and navigate everything. He's not all of a sudden you woke up and he a serial killer. But that is what I find the gaslighting point women go to. He's a great father and a serial killer. Okay.
She said, I asked for a marriage counseling. He agreed, but it won't change his mind, he said. That's what he said.
There's people who say, I'm going to counseling, but I don't want to go. Do you get focused on them saying that they didn't want to go?
No. Nope. No. But my thing is this. My thing is this. Why wouldn't he, if he wants her to go with him? Why wouldn't he do everything to make sure that she goes? You see what I'm saying? Why wouldn't he say, okay, we're going to go to counseling and keep the fact that he didn't compromise or he wasn't compromising to himself? and wait till he gets into a safe setting to let her know, I really think we should go X, Y, and Z, right? That's what I'm saying. But she said he came home and said X, Y, and he's not compromising. And I said, you don't make decisions like that in a marriage. Otherwise, you're going to have issues. Zeus, did you die off? Did you die off? Zeus, you must have died off. So I'm saying to her, you and him sit down and make the pros and cons and see what you need to do to be successful in that country. See if you could be successful in that country. And then you have to think. This is another thing that I didn't think. Okay. This is another thing I didn't think. That man was born in a different country, which meant his safety or his safe space might be in that country. He came to this country to be in the country with you. You're comfortable here. He's been uncomfortable. So why is it that now you cannot do your part and be uncomfortable in another country just like he has been for the past 20 some odd years? He compromised when he stayed here with you. Now it's your turn to compromise with him. That's the way I'm going to look at it. Compromise with him. Make some negotiations. Go to marriage counseling. We're going to work on our marriage. We're going to work on the way I talk to you and the way you talk to me. We're going to work on X, Y, and Z. We're going to explain to the kids that they're going to have a pipeline to me and you when we go to this country. But this is what we're going to work on before we go. We're going to make sure we have a place to stay. We're going to make sure we can get a job. We're going to make sure we got somewhere, we don't have to live with mom, mother-in-law and father-in-law. Make sure we don't have to live with anybody. And maybe we can deal with it. No, Black America, stop saying men don't care about that. They do care about that. If you want to be in a healthy, happy relationship, you better start caring about those things. You keep saying they don't care about those things. And I keep saying the same statistic to you. Then don't bitch about marriages being trash in the Black community if you keep continuing not to care about what women think. When you continuously don't care about what a woman thinks, there ain't no reason for her to stick around. We're talking about marriage to the young men who want to have a long-term relationship. We're not talking about you. We're talking about men who want to have a long-term relationship. You need to talk to them about them making compromises because they're going to have to. If you want to stay married, if you want to get married and stay married. And I really believe people want to get married and stay married. They're not just marrying because they feel like trying it out. They want to be married because they feel like this is the direction that they want to go and they want to be with another person. So stop discouraging them. Men have to care. You have to start caring. Otherwise, marriages are not going to last. And Zeus just took off. But that's my recommendation. Go to counseling. Do what y'all got to do. X, Y, and Z. Put everything on the table about what needs to be done. Y'all please hit the like button coming in. Please hit the like button, share, do all those good things. Do all those good things. Anybody want to come up and share their experience as a married person who can try to answer one of these questions? Please feel free to come up if you feel that you have something to contribute. It's not a matter of being on camera. It's just a matter of let's flesh out these kind of relationships that occur. Because a lot of people have run into these relationships. And we can take this one letter and say, maybe they had to move to another state and a person didn't want to move to another state. And now we have to have a discussion. SOPs, ladies and gentlemen, standard operating procedures that people do when they get married. Somebody put a list of what it one. Give me an example of an SOP in a marriage, because I think I'm gonna write up an SOP about a marriage. These are standard operating procedures. If you don't follow these, you're gonna be unsuccessful. If you don't have a variation of these SOPs in your relationship, you're not gonna be successful. I'm not saying you're gonna be married for 34 years. What I am saying is certain things you don't do and you're getting married or you're married. Certain things you just don't do. And not she don't wear short dresses and blah blah blah. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it should never be okay for your husband to go to a strip club. Those kind of SOPs. No, don't tell me that I don't mind my husband going to a strip club. You'll mind your husband going to a strip club the minute you find his ass down a chick's dress. You'll mind then, won't you? Come on, stop doing the dumb shit. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. People saying dumb shit like that. I don't mind my husband going to a strip club. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Okay. If your spouse, here's the next letter. If your spouse could no longer be physically intimate with you, if your spouse got sick, cancer, disease, etc., and could no longer be physically intimate with you, would you stay? Hey, Black America, would you stay? Now, this is a difficult one, and most people would say, okay, I'm going to cheat. Obviously, you're going to cheat. You're not going to do it at the beginning because you care about this person. You care about being married to this person. You care about having a relationship with this person. So obviously you wouldn't do. But my question is this: what's wrong with masturbation? Black America.
Hello. Is my sound bad, HQ?
It's bad, but it's okay. We can still hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay. Okay. What's wrong with masturbation? People act like masturbation is beneath them. If your spouse is sick and they can't have sex, why not masturbation? What's wrong with that? It's one thing to leave your spouse because they just don't want to have sex and then trying to find ways to uh, uh, compromise in that kind of relationship. It's another thing to leave a spouse who has cancer because they won't have sex with you in between chemo treatments. Okay. Somebody who doesn't want to have sex just because they don't want to have sex, and somebody who has cancer treatment and don't feel like having sex. These are two totally different things. They aren't even remotely connected with each other. What's wrong with the strip club? There's nothing wrong with the strip club. What is a strip club for? I have a problem. I have a problem with a person that needs to be stimulated by, if they're married, they need to be stimulated by the strip club. Your idea as a husband of entertainment is to go to a strip club. That's what's wrong with it. That's what's wrong with it, Sweet Glaze. My husband's entertainment is because he needs to be engaging in a strip club. That's his form of entertainment. I have an issue with that. And most women should have an issue with their husband saying, I get turned on when I get to the strip club. Are you there now or are you out of there? Black America.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Strip club.
Yes.
First of all, going to the strip club is okay on special occasions.
Right.
Yes, you can go to the strip club, hang out with your homeboys, watch Monday Night Football. But are you there on payday? Are you there on Wednesday nights when she goes and does the book club? Some of those things might be unacceptable. But going every now and again, every once in a while, I don't see anything wrong with that. Can we agree on that, or is that a no
Yeah.
for
Oh,
you?
yeah. I agree on that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone on a special occasion. But this person that I spoke with said, "Oh, I don't mind him going to the strip club whenever he want to go to the strip club. That's fine." I said, "What? What? Wait a minute. That's an entertainment for your husband, and that's you get excited to go to the strip club. He
Okay,
gets excited
so
to go to the strip club.
did you do did you do things without your husband that your husband would not go do with you?
Oh hell yeah, everything,
And
everything.
that's
But I would have I would feel some type of way if I went to.
and we look at that
Mhm.
as the strip club HQ. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
I
we
know
not.
I
But
know
I'm
it
not.
I know
But
it doesn't sound right, but that's how we look at when you go to the fucking opera. I hate you going to the goddamn ballet. I hate you going to the opera. You going to an art gallery? That is the stupidest shit in the fucking world. And I'm sitting home pissed about it.
listen to this, Black America. Me and you married. And I say, I'm going to the strip club with the ladies. I'm going to the male Chippendale thing with the ladies. We going out tonight.
Oh, okay.
You
Is that
well,
is
see,
that the
me
is
and you
that
are
the end
different.
of it?
Me and you are similar.
No, no, no,
It
no, no,
wouldn't
no,
bother
no, no.
we a little bit more confident enough where that kind of shit wouldn't bother us, right?
No, no.
I'm
I
talking
mean,
about young kids.
it definitely would bother because I, ran a bar for years. I'm a biker. I have a bike club. I know what happens, especially when we bring the men in to strip.
Mm-hmm.
I, I know what kind of frenzy that the women go to. This
Right.
It's like blood in the water and sharks. Women get freaky and all type of stuff at the strip club. I'm talking about they be giving head and everything to the
But what's
strip.
wrong? So what's wrong with me going to the strip club then, dear?
Uh, I know you're gonna come home and fuck the shit out of me. Every man knows that. Go, bitch. Go get wound up so you can come home and give me that pussy.
So it's not a problem for you.
There is a problem. I don't like it. I don't want you to do it, but I know at the end I'm going to get something from it. Your husband has went to a strip club HQ 30
Mhm.
something years. One occasion, a boys' night out, a
Yeah.
bachelor party or something, and he came home turned on. Motherfucker, wake your ass up. I don't 2 o'clock. I don't give a shit. Wake your ass up, girl.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get the P Diddy baby oil before P is even popular.
Yeah, but
Yes, he went to a strip club.
that's not something that's not something you would encourage in a young marriage though. A marriage that's solid, maybe, but not a marriage that in which you these young people do this strip club because a lot of people don't think cheating, a lot of people don't think having sex with other people should be a deal breaker for them in a relationship. And I'm telling you, it is a deal breaker for a lot of people. So I went and had sex with the stripper. Now you're gonna be mad because I had sex with the stripper. She was dancing all over me. She had her
No,
ass all
no,
over me, her tits all over me. I had
most
sex
people,
with her.
most
Yes, it
people don't.
didn't mean nothing.
Most people don't have sex with the stripper HQ. Like, and see, that's what I'm saying. You're kind of taking it a little bit too far because most guys. I go into a strip club. I'm not a germaphobe. I do a lot of dirty shit in my life. But going to a strip club and seeing a woman who's being touched on by a bunch of different men, most men aren't hanging out or want to even see women like that. I promise you.
So what we're saying, an SOP, standard operating procedure in a marriage, letting them saying they can go to strip clubs is not a good thing.
It being honest is a good thing. It's not that it's a bad thing. People who have respect for their significant other can absolutely go to the strip club. Can I go fishing? Since we married right now for the day, can I go fishing? And when I go deep sea fishing for 4 days, can I go fishing with my buddies HQ, or I should not do that?
Hell yeah, get the hell on. But that's different from a chick jiggling her titties in your face.
Okay, how? You
Because
can't touch
if Shark ain't jiggling his titties in your face.
HQ, you go to the strip club. Every man knows when you go to the strip club, you cannot touch the merchandise. The women, on the other hand, can
only
touch.
Unless I drag you in the back alley.
What?
Only unless I drag you in the back alley, stripper.
No, men cannot. They have big muscular ass bouncers at strip club. HQ, you can't be handsy at a strip club. I promise you that. You need to come to Vegas.
Are you saying that? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is SOP, standard operating procedure. Stay away from strip clubs is an SOP. I'm not saying you can't go on a special occasion. I am saying that shouldn't be something that's a normal practice in a marriage.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. So now, forget the strip club. Tell me about what you came up here to talk about, that first letter about the wife going to a foreign country.
Okay, so this is the problem, right? And I heard your little history lesson, which is bullshit, right? Women couldn't have houses. Women couldn't have a single woman is not a new phenomenon. HQ. There's been many a single woman in this world and in this country since the dawn of time, and women have made a way. Madam C.J. Walker, it was in the 1920s. You never hear nothing about no damn man or being married or anything like that. I don't know if she was married or wasn't married. So, but it's been single women for a long time. The problem is we have a problem, and the men are not complaining about wanting to get married. They're complaining about the followership of women. Men are leaders, women are followers. If you don't see it like that, there's already a problem. There's already a problem if you don't see it like that.
Okay. Fellowship. You say fellowship. There's nothing wrong with fellowship. There's nothing wrong with that. But in a marriage, you don't get to dictate. You get to throw the suggestions on a table, and then we have to decide as a couple, as a husband and wife. We have to decide the best direction to go to in our family. This man is saying
that's not how things get done, HQ. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to cut you off. This is why it doesn't get done like that. Me and you are on opposite sides of the fence of an issue, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, hey, since we married today, this is what is best. This is what I see is best for our family, and this is the direction that we need to proceed in. You're saying, well, I don't want to do that because I feel like this and I see this, and this is what I'm talking about.
But I'm saying this. I'm saying you came to the table and you said I'm taking the man as an example. He said we going to El Salvador without a compromise, without listening to what I'm saying, why I'm saying X, Y, and Z. And I come to the table and I say, here are my 5 reasons why we should not do it. Here's our 5 reasons. If you dismiss those 5 reasons, and I have come up, and those 5 reasons are valid, or I think they're valid, you have to hear me out. As a husband, you have to hear me out, because I came to you with those 5 reasons. This X, Y, and Z. I'm not able to get a job in my profession. My profession won't make enough money. Your profession won't be enough money. It'll be just like we're starting over. We don't know the country. We don't know the landscape. You haven't lived here in 20 odd years. Blah, blah, blah. Valid arguments. Valid arguments. Maybe they're not valid. Maybe they are.
I'm gonna stop you again. I'm gonna stop you again. You know why you got to throw all of that out, and I understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand this. You know why you got to throw all of that out, HQ? All of it. It all has to go out. You know why?
Right.
For 20 plus years, you have been married to me, and the house isn't burned down. We got 3 beautiful kids. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. You have to realize I am not going to do anything to put you in hurt or harm's way or danger. Your followership is bad. It is an emotional decision. I wouldn't be happy if we did that. It is bad followership. It doesn't have anything to do. Hey, you can go or you cannot go. We gonna get divorced. We've been rocking here. Hey, it's time to move. When it's time to move, and the man says it's time to move, it's time to move. You don't have an opinion about it. It doesn't matter. I am the one who's leading this family. If everything goes wrong, who it gets blamed on? It gets blamed on the men, HQ.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. When the power in the house goes off, the man is to blame for it. The car broke down and you can't get fixed, the man is to blame. Nobody ever looks at the woman in a relationship. And this is what I explain to all men whenever I talk to them.
So
Nobody ever looks at a woman and says, oh,
here's my
this
question.
is your fault.
So here's my question. What if I came up with very valid reasons? Would you consider aren't you supposed to consider those valid reasons that I came up with?
No, what you are supposed to do is counsel, right? And I'm going to tell you just like you know and how you have counseled your husband. I'm sure you spent 30 years with your husband. I'm sure you've seen your husband get pissed off at somebody, right? So mad where he want to go do something bad to him. And you were the only one who could calm him down, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, right. Because once again, me and your husband is my brother. I'm the same nigga as your husband is a knuckle dragger. Me and your husband are the same. Yeah. I'm 100% sure of it. HQ, you're the only one that can calm me down. You are to say, hey, baby, hold on, slow down. Maybe we shouldn't do this like that. Maybe we should think about this like that. Now, you're not saying, you never said, oh, you can't go do that.
Right.
Those words never came out your mouth.
Right.
I know they didn't, because then you saying, I'm looking at you like the Exorcist because you told me I can't. You never used the words you can't go do that. You said, baby, let's do this or let's do that or let's think about it this way or let's think about it that way for a second. That is counsel. You being on the opposite side of me is not counsel. It is now made you an opponent. Mm-hmm. You're still following. You're still in my corner. You're my greatest cheerleader, but you're giving me counseling.
So do you think that's a part of the fear? Do you think that's a part of the fear that you need that because they have to think they have a small son. They have a son that's 16 or 17. They have a small son. I don't know what country this is. I don't know because she didn't say. But my whole thing is she has a young child. All of these things are taken into consideration. The most freest country on the planet is probably the United States. Why would we go backwards into a country that may have laws that don't benefit you as a husband, nor me as a wife? Have we researched this country to make sure that I can work? Because it's a different story going into a different country, and then you're the only one that can work, and they don't allow women to work, or they don't allow women out after dark, or they don't allow children to X, Y, and Z. Have you really thought about these things before you take me and your child over to this country because you're feeling sentimental and you want to go home?
All right, are you done?
Yeah.
Then- So now, baby, I have been leading us for 24 years. I am not going to put you in harm's way. You have to trust me like you trusted me for the last 2 and almost a half decades. It is something you are in balance. Maybe it's your menopause or something is kicking in. A 16-year-old is not a baby. And you can damn near every state, damn near, you can be fucking somebody at 16 legally.
Right.
It's not a baby. It's not a child. It's not a kid. A 16-year-old is a young adult. I'm not
No, she's
saying
not.
really.
What do you mean?
A 16 has the word teen in it.
Teen.
I said it's a young adult.
So you're saying that
Is it 6 adults?
they shouldn't have any say. You're saying no, it's no say in the decision making.
About what decision?
To move to a foreign country.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Tyranny.
No, I'm sorry, Black America. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, so you said I should trust your judgment as the wife. You're born in, I don't know, I'm assuming it's someplace like Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. He's been here for 24 years. We've been married. Now he wants to go back home, and he wants to take me as an American. He wants to take me and our 17-year-old son down to wherever he used to stay. But he's not being compromising. He's saying we're just going. He's not listening to any of my objections. He doesn't want to hear any of my objections. He just wants to go. How do you navigate that with him? How do you say, look, let's look at the X, Y, and Z before you decide that we're going to go? She said she did that, and he still said, I'm going. So he said, if I don't go, it's going to be a divorce. What is the woman?
Okay. I'm gonna say it like this. You got married when you were 23.
Mm-hmm.
What was his first job when y'all got married? What was he doing? Was he a garbage man or a CO first?
He was a CO first.
So he was a CO, right?
Right.
Boom. He did that for another 5-6 years or whatever. Went over to garbage or went over whatever he did.
Mm-hmm.
He made more as he went to different jobs. Correct?
Yeah.
HQ. He didn't do that and make that decision for himself or lightly. He made that decision for his family. And you, being his cheerleader, you says, oh, okay, well, I don't know about that. You sure about that? But then when that garbage man and that city fucking insurance kicked in and you said you could go to the doctor for 10 and 15 and maybe $20 on copay, you was like, hell yeah. It is, we do the things that we do with thinking about you guys in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It is the forethought that we have for you that makes us think about these things. You just have to trust me.
Terry,
It might seem like a bad idea, but you gotta trust me.
What do you think, Tierney?
I mean, yeah, I would say go. I mean, because if it's what makes him happy, why not? I've laid out the ground. I've showed you everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what it is. Yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. If he still says he wants to go, then as his partner, I'm going to say, okay, let's do it. Now, if I don't want to go, I'm not going to stop you from going. So you can still go if you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see nothing wrong with supporting his dreams as well.
I looked at it when I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. He's been here for 20 some odd years, married to me. So why can't I compromise and move to his country and stay there with him? He was born in that country. He misses his country. Maybe it's time for me to miss my country and figure out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I could see that. I could see the compromise, but I still would have a conversation and say, hey, am I able to find a job there? What do you think about, do they have, are the women, do they have laws against women working? Is there a problem with us work, blah blah blah? How are we gonna get our cars over there? Are we gonna, what are we gonna do? Right.
Right.
So
Because you got to be reasonable.
right,
Now,
right.
nobody wants to do something with an unreasonable person. Like, let's talk about this. Let's make sure. But why
Right.
not?
And I think me, I would make it an adventure. I would make it an adventure. I'd be like, shit,
Right.
I'm finna go over here and I'm gonna do my thing, and he can, be with his family, and then we straight over here. Yeah. See, I would throw myself enthusiastically into it because
Absolutely.
I'm a shine, whether I'm in Puerto Rico, England, America, I'm a shine either way. I'm gonna do my thing and
Right.
I'm gonna do me, and me and you gonna be rocking. Long as we solid in the marriage foundation. Is it me and you? It's me and you against the world. Okay, you want me to do that? Then we finna rock over here, and I'm gonna make sure we successful over there, just like we make
Right.
sure we successful over here. But I'm saying,
Right.
but if we ain't rocking together and we've been having issues, I think we need to figure out those issues before we go. So when we get over there, you ain't doing no heinous shit. Like
Right.
you know what I'm talking about. Some heinous shit. Get home on your
Exactly.
home turf. Get to your home turf, and then you want to act crazy and shit. No.
Exactly. No, for sure, because that's what kept me from moving to my ex-husband's back to his country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about your ass gonna get me over there, chop me up, sell me to the cartel. So we need to make sure that we are on the same accord.
Right,
But you
right.
know what? One thing I don't like in relationships, HQ, is
Mm-hmm.
when the one partner wants everything their way. If they don't like it, you need to be like, I don't like it either. I don't like that. That's not what partnership is. Partnership is let's work together. Let's make each other happy.
Right, right.
Why not? Yeah.
Right. I mean, why not? Why not figure out how to compromise? I mean, I would
Yeah.
be done. Like I said, I would turn on a dime if my spouse came and said, "Oh, okay, I know he's from a foreign country. Okay, now if you wanted to take me to say, Iran, you were from Iran, then we gonna do something else. We ain't finna go there because they dropping bombs on them motherfuckers. Yeah, I ain't know. We ain't doing that. I don't care. You going by yourself. You feel what I'm saying? But here,
Right.
but if you say, okay, I'm from London, and can we go to London? Okay, I'm rocking with you. I'm gonna figure this shit out. I'm gonna know the money. I'm gonna know the everything. I'm gonna know everything before I
So
set
in
foot
other
in that
words, so in other words, it has to be a first world country in order for you to feel a level of comfortability. Is that what you're saying?
Hell yeah! Who the hell want to go where they dropping bombs at? Who want to do that? Who want to go to Saudi Arabia where I gotta wear a rag every day over my
Right.
head, and my body? Who the hell want to go there?
They don't even want to be.
That's when I would do the objecting. That's when I would have some. Oh hell no! Come on, bro. Come on.
Once again, you trusted me 25 years. You have to trust me, especially at this age. You got to trust me for the rest of your time. I have not. Once again, you have you now have bad followership. When you were
I'll be
married,
back. I'll be back,
when
HQ.
you
I'll be
Okay.
back.
Okay. Okay.
when you were married, your followership was okay.
Mm-hmm.
You now, because of your comfortability and you not needing a man. I said it yesterday. You not needing a man, just like you said. Women make as much as men. You go on that BLS report, Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and they're going to tell you, no, women don't make as much as men. They don't work as long as their life until men, and they don't make as much money as men. You are now comfortable, so you don't need other women, younger women, much younger than you, HQ, they need. I tell my daughters, please hurry up and get married so I can die without worrying about you. That's all a father got a couple of jobs. We want to provide for our family. We want to keep our daughters off of the fucking stripper pole and get them married so we can die.
Wait a
That's
minute,
it.
we got two different arguments. You talking about women who make money. I'm just saying they don't care how much money they make. There's more men got to come to the table with more than what they coming for women to even go over there to work. But my individual going back to that marriage, going back to moving to a foreign country. Yes, we do need each other. We do need that. But the whole point is men have to realize there's more to just making a paycheck. Women need more than that from them. So that's all I'm saying. So moving over, like you have to admit, it's not a matter of bad following. What if you lived in Africa, Black America, Africa? You lived in that scamming country, whatever that scamming country is called. What's it called? African scamming country.
Nigeria.
Yes, you from Nigeria, where they just figuring out how to put shit in a goddamn shack. Why would you take me there?
So this is what I'm gonna tell you about that, right? How many countries have you been to, HQ?
About 7.
So you know how much, like, you be like, oh, that just cost me $5. You know how you be like, oh, okay, that was 10 American dollars, and I got all. I just fed myself for $4 and ate a big old meal.
Right.
HQ, we gonna sell, once again. You my wife. We gonna sell the house.
Right.
We take the equity out of the house.
Right.
We go to another country, HQ. Me and you was millionaires. We've been married 24 years. So let's say we owe 50 on our house and it's worth 750.
Mm-hmm.
We got $700,000. Like, right. I've already thought about all of this shit. Like, the things that you're saying, they don't mean anything to me. I'm not caring about your comfortability. This is what I'm caring about.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. But see, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Iran and those type countries are different from United States. You can't just go there. The women have more rights in the United States than they do any country.
And what has that done to our country? And what has that done to our country?
Yeah, but I'm still not willing to go to a country where I got to wear a rag every day.
You can't say it has destroyed our country, huh? Okay, that's okay. Everybody knows your silence.
No, because the Western society is in a lot of different countries, and I don't think I don't think Western society has destroyed our country. It just is what it is. Yeah, I know it's a hijab, but I'm saying the rag for effect. I know it's a hijab. I don't think we're destroyed. Our country is destroyed. I think it's just a matter of us compromising and figuring out our way as a country. But even though you don't like the way it has gone, you don't like the way that it's the direction it may be heading, I damn sure don't like it now that orange thug's in the White House. But my whole point is,
but a man would not move his wife to a war zone.
Huh?
A man would not move his wife and family and kids to a war zone, HQ. I'm sorry. And that's where you're not trusting me.
Unless he was born there. There's a lot of countries out there that a woman should never go to. There's a lot of countries. There's African countries that a lot of women shouldn't go to. Shouldn't go to Israel. You shouldn't go to Iran. You shouldn't go to Dubai. You shouldn't go to a lot of countries there. China, maybe. I don't know about China, but I do know that they have less rights than we do here. So why would you even have a conversation with me about, okay, well, we finna move to Dubai, HQ. We finna move to Dubai. I'd be like, what? that ain't even comparable to how we
Why,
live
why,
here.
why we can't say something Sweden? Let's
Right
say it was
there.
Sweden.
Like,
Let's say it was Sweden. Okay, let's get off of these
okay. Okay.
bottom of the barrel countries.
Then I
Let's
then
say
I then I would be more than willing. I'd be more than willing to go there. We finna learn
okay. So
Swedish. I'm finna me and you finna learn Swedish. We're gonna take 6 months to learn Swedish before we go. We're gonna figure out how to convert our money. We're gonna figure out what it's gonna cost. I do all of that. I'd be 100% in. That's just me. But then I'm like,
plain unhappy.
you said what?
She's unhappy. Let's just say now that she's unhappy and unwilling to go. She has bad followership. We're moving to Sweden. We're moving to one of the safest places on earth. Nobody got smoked with Sweden. We're moving to one of the safest. Oh, I don't want to go there. They have the Alps there, the Swiss Alps. She has bad followership.
And that's why I'm saying this situation right here, she should be more than happy to go as long as it's not going to denigrate their lifestyle, as long as they can maintain a semblance of the lifestyle that they have. I'm not saying there's not different things that you have to compromise on, different things, different foods, different ways you shop, different ways you blah, 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 right? Because there's things that we do here in the United States that they don't do. Well, I didn't know that they didn't keep eggs in the refrigerator. We keep eggs in the refrigerator. People overseas don't keep eggs in the refrigerator. They keep them on the shelf, which would just drive me insane if I saw it on the shelf and you wanted me to buy it. But I'm saying there's things that we would have to compromise on. I get that. But me compromising on what I have to wear every day, like I would have to go to Dubai and wear a hijab. I'd have to go to Iran and wear a hijab. I'd have to, just different things would not work for me regardless of whether I loved you or I didn't love you. Okay. But I'm saying, no, you can have a comparable lifestyle. We can have comparable
I understand, but this lifestyle, I don't like the lifestyle argument, right? Because even with my girls, right? Yes, I work hard, I work every day, but I don't play that lifestyle bullshit. Like,
no.
yes.
See, you misinterpreting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I have a certain lifestyle right now, free to go wherever, whenever, however. Everybody has a certain lifestyle here in the United States. Not money-wise lifestyle. We just have a certain lifestyle. We can go where we want, eat what we want, do what we want, blah, blah, blah. In another country, I'm saying, can we maintain that same lifestyle? And I'm saying, if I went to a place, if I went to say, Sweden, can I go outside after 10 o'clock? Can I go to a casino? Can I do X, Y, and Z? Do I have to have your permission to buy a car? Do I have to have my husband's permission to buy a house? Can we maintain similar life?
Again, you want to be in charge, your followership, and I dig it. At this point, your followership is no more.
No, I'm just an A-type personality. I worry about every little detail. I would down to what socks we have to wear. What kind of shoes do we have to wear? What kind of clothing can we wear? I'm an A-type personality, so I would worry about
since we married, is that a you problem or a we problem?
That's why I said to you that I would throw myself into it enthusiastically, because then I would have a direction to go. But don't be upset with me if I peck every little thing. I've told you, I'm A-type personality. I will make sure I got the right plugs to plug in. I would make sure I had a fan if I got hot. I would make sure that we had the right sunglasses. I'm just that type person, I'm saying. So it would not just be a matter of me going and I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I'm saying, would I have access to all of these things that would make it seem comfortable? And I would be able to adjust here and there. But me living in a suburb in the United States, or me even living in the ghetto, just for example, me living in the ghetto. Some people have houses, some people live in projects or whatever. That's acceptable if that's the only place I have to live. But I'm not going to another country and then their ghetto is living in a shanty. You understand?
So you do know America is the richest country on earth. All right, so we beat this dead horse. So that last one about the unable to have sex.
Yes.
Is it the man unable to have sex or the woman unable to have sex?
It doesn't say. It just says a spouse. If your spouse got sick, cancer, whatever, and could no longer be physically intimate with you, would you stay?
The short answer for most men is yes. We would stay. Yes. So for a man, yes. For a woman, I don't
Okay,
think
so here's the thing.
women would stay.
If the man, if the woman, okay, so what would you do? Would you seek to get permission to have sex outside the house? Black America?
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. That
Okay.
is no, like, yeah. So like I said, my thing is honesty. If you tell somebody and they don't agree with it, whether they do or don't agree with it, you know where they stand and they know where you stand. So it's always honesty is the best policy as far as
So
when
what
it
if I'm
comes
your
to
wife and I say no?
how you gonna say no?
I'm just saying. We doing scenarios here. Me and you married, right?
Yeah, we've been married all day and I'm already sweating. This is a fucking pain. You're killing me already. I already feel 10 years coming off my life. Because let me tell you something. My girls know baby, I need this. Okay, go get it. Or oh no, I want to wait. I had to hang a TV last night. Why? It's two of y'all here. Why I gotta hang a goddamn TV? Y'all just want to see me do shit. Like,
Right. that phrase, I heard Fee say that phrase. You just wanted to see me do some fucking shit. Stop asking me to do some fucking shit. You just want to see me do some shit. I can hear him saying that. Yeah, so I'm saying, what if I say no? Black America.
well, you don't really. So you're the one that's sick. I say, baby, listen. It's been 6 months. I'm jacking off every damn day. I gotta go get some ass. You say no, and then I tell you, well, nothing's going to change. You can't do anything. You're bedridden. I'm going to go get some ass. I just want you to know nothing is going to change.
Okay. So now,
like my love for you does not change because I'm fucking some other bitch. You heard what my number one said when we was having the conversation.
Right.
You heard what she said. I don't give a shit as long as I call you and you bring your ass home. I'm good. That's what she said.
Okay.
I'm not going to hide it from you. I need you to know.
So your meat don't work. Can I come to you and say the same thing?
Every man knows you're gonna leave him. We don't broke niggas don't expect to get a Holly Berry. They don't. Fat niggas don't expect to get a damn I don't know who men like Beyonce or whoever else they think is fine. Serena Williams, Kelly Rowland. We know if we are in a bad situation, a woman is going to leave. If you are a man and you lose your job, guess what? A woman is going to leave. We are loved on conditions.
But I'm not trying to leave. I just need sex.
Well, if you getting some am I dying?
You said you made the scenario that you're bedridden and you can't move.
Yeah, well, hey, are you coming to me and telling me, or are you just leaving me and going out
No,
and doing your thing and coming back?
I'm telling you, I am a sexual being.
Well, I
And
mean, once again, as a man, we expect it. We don't expect any other. We don't expect any other outcome from you. We know who you guys are.
wait a minute, how you gonna make me feel bad? How you gonna make me feel bad? And I'm following your scenario.
I'm not making you feel bad. I told you, if we as a man lose our job, everybody blames us, and the woman is gone. If you get sick, nigga, that's your fault. You got sick. The woman is gone. We know this as
I'm
men.
not trying to go anywhere. I'm not trying to leave you. I just need to have sex.
Well, we know that we can't have sex if we can't fulfill a need. We know you women are going to go get it.
So, okay, that is selfish. I get it. But Black America said the same thing. I'm just turning it around on him. I'm just saying, he said if I was bedridden, couldn't have sex, he would tell me that he needs to go have sex. I said the same thing. If he was bedridden, his shit don't work, I'm telling you, I need to go have sex. Zeus.
I would have sex with you if you was bedridden. I'm a different kind of creature.
Damn, he had necrophilia. You got necrophilia on the damn
What's going
channel,
on,
ain't you?
Zeus? What's going on, Zeus?
Hey, everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Black America. Like, I really feel that brother has given us a lot of transparency and a lot of growth.
Right. We done did things today, yes.
But I came back in, and I apologize about dropping out earlier. Work called. All I walked in is his dick don't work. I mean, what are we doing? Why do you always go every time I tune in? We gaslight his dick don't work.
I'm not gaslighting. This is not what we're doing.
Every scenario, his dick don't work. Income tax not done. His dick don't work. What are we doing? Can we chill out on that a little bit?
Me and Black America are running through the scenarios as a married couple. What the decisions would be if we were married, how would we react? So I'm saying, if your spouse, the question was, if your spouse got sick, had cancer, disease, and could no longer be physically intimate with you, would you stay? And Black America said he would do the masturbation thing first. Then he would come to you, when he would come to her or come to me and say, hey, I need to have sex.
Well, let me say something about Black America that he brought up. He brought up a couple of things, and I never put them in a thought process, but I followed them.
Okay.
One is duty. I never use that word, but I do it. Like my cars, all my cars that I ever got, I paid for them. I never had a car payment. He brought that up. So he brings up a lot of good points. And I think one of the elements as men we want is transparency.
Right.
We want to be able to say, hey, I'm going to get some gok from somebody I don't even know, and I'm going to treat them like a whore. We want to be able to say that to you guys because it's not emotional for us. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, for me, I take the sexual things you don't want to do. I take the things where you go, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. And I go do that with somebody I don't know that's in a group. AKA Shannon Sharp's issue was he did it with somebody that wasn't in a group. Because a group has I forgot what it's called, but it's like a contract where nobody talks about what goes on in the group outside
NDA.
Right. But it's a rule of disclosure. That's what it is. Rule of disclosure.
Okay.
So my point is, if you wanted to go out and get some strange, or you wanted to do something, you would be transparent with that. But we not doing the neighbor next door, because that's just creating a mess. And I think Black America used a word, I never thought of it, but it's called, see, there's plan, and then there's when you become foul. When you become foul, you go out in the street and do something, and then you come back home and start pissing on everything at home. That's a no-no. You go out in the street and you realize I didn't get in your way, but you also got it really good at home. So you come home with more respect and more love because you did your thing. Now we connect again. That's the difference in kind of how I see those going out moments. Those going out moments are never connected to, I'm going to go to my old high school sweetheart. I'm going to go to my ex. It's none of that. With that said, I'm in. And hopefully, respectfully, I didn't talk too much out of Black America's mouth.
But I'm saying, you keep saying, and I saw in the chat, Project Leroy said, what did he say? Oh, we're not the same. Yes, we are the same. We are the same. We are both animals. We both are same. You, at some particular point, yes, masturbation is the way to go. I get it. I do. But at some particular point, masturbation is not going to work. It's not going to work on the man, and it's not going to work on a healthy individual woman. And it doesn't matter whether we're the same or not. You're making it sound as though a woman is going to abstain. I'm saying, as a wife, and you're used to a certain level of sexual blah, blah, blah. And it declines because maybe you had an accident. Maybe something happened. Maybe.
How about because the nagging gene gets activated?
Hey, I'd dry up real quick if the nagging gene came out.
There you go. Like sometimes we don't want to talk. We just want to grunt. We want to get up in we want to just grunt. That's all we want to do. We want to be, hey, I'm mad at you. You mad at me. Let's work it out. Okay. Let's get primal. I'm all for that.
Told you we don't want to talk to you, HQ. We don't want to hear your damn voice. You done raised my cortisol levels. I'm gonna have to go on a diet because you raised my stress levels. That's like, and we only been married for about 45 minutes.
He said I already done gave him a damn headache. I'm telling you, I am not on the end of the bitching. I am more of a everything gotta be so.
HQ, hold on. You being the unicorn right now. When Black America, when most men are on here, we're not talking about HQ. We're not talking about Rose and Pink and Natural. We're not talking about them. We're saying in general. That's what we're talking about. In general, when things are going good and the nagging gene comes in, we don't want to. We retreat.
I ain't gonna nag. I'm not gonna do that. I can hear myself. I'm not gonna nag. So
you see it on dating shows. You see everything going good, and then the girl has to ask one or two questions. Sometimes it's the guy that has to sabotage. That's trauma that they bring into the table that they don't know how to manage. As I said, I deal with a lot of brides. When I deal with brides, there's always this thing where you can see they start wanting to sabotage the wedding. Or the mother-in-law wants to sabotage the wedding. Like, why did you do that? And then I go into recovery mode. So it's there. It's how you gonna manage it. With that said, I'm in.
Right. So Black America, I can't do it. You gonna tell me no? You gonna tell me no, Black America?
I didn't say I was gonna tell you no. I didn't say I was gonna tell you no. I'm not telling you no. I expect it.
But you don't expect me to stay. But why?
No, I expect you to leave. If a man has every man knows we expect you to leave when we have a downfall. We know this.
Yeah, but all of us don't leave when you have a downfall. I'm talking about somebody
that is a goddamn lie. That is a lie.
Not all women leave, but for all intents and purposes, we're talking about a person that got sick. So you're saying it's okay to come to the spouse and say, I gotta get some sex. I'm agreeing with you. We're on the same page. We have the same accord. If you need to tell your spouse that you need to have sex and they're sick and they're incapable of having sex, I agree with you. come to the spouse, have a conversation. I need to have sex. It just is what it is. I'm not saying you might leave, and you might fall in love with the stripper down the street. I might fall in love with the stripper down the street. But the whole point is to be upfront and honest in that relationship, so that this right here is not, the person not hit over the head. And I wouldn't agree to that. I'm saying there's some people, if you know you're not getting out of the chair and you know you're not going to be able to have sex ever again, what would you do, Zeus?
I'm gonna have sex even if I can only meet one finger.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm
talking about.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm also a movie director.
Right.
We can create corn in the house. We can create remote corn. We can do a lot of things.
Right.
But here's the thing. I've got stories about amputees, about people who were deaf. I've done the gamut. Everybody has a different kink or fetish or niche. AKA, sometimes there's people in the service industry that love working with those type of illnesses.
Right.
You have to be able to also release, not you, but the other person has to release, like, you can't be everything to that person. I think that's the biggest fantasy we live in. Right. Like, you're going to be everything to that person. And you used to hear Kevin Samuel say it. We can't be your friend. We can be friendly, but you already, and I don't want to open this can of worm. I'm going to say it. Just hold your peace. Hold your peace, girlfriend.
Right.
We can't have a body count conversation because that's too close. But you can have a body count conversation with your best friend. So there's conversations that's not going to cross over. And we need to realize maybe there's some things sexually that you're willing to do, but you don't like to do. Outsource those things. Outsource.
So you're saying it's okay to come to your spouse and say, hey, I know you can't have sex. Can I have sex? You're saying it's okay to outsource that.
Yes, I think that's a healthy way to think,
right?
Rather than let that dam build up and eventually break.
Okay, Project Leroy, nobody believes me on what? That I would go to my spouse and say, can I have sex? What? Do I look as though I'm one of those people that hold back on to opening my big ass mouth?
I think one thing you have always done is you have, and I'll give it to Black America too. Like, that's when we hear you guys talk, there's a foundational things that you guys stand on.
Right.
Now, is there craziness in between those pillars? Yeah, there is. But you have always said you're very sexual and you want to have open sexual conversations. Not all of them, but you're open. Right. You're open to them.
I'm having them. Oh, hell no. You didn't do that to your, because Fee's dick always worked. Fee was chasing me when we were 50. We never had that problem. We never had a sexual problem.
That's an unusual case though. HQ, can I just tell you something? Universally, I said this before. Universally, when you saw him, you wanted him. When you was in your crazy wagon, he said, I'm gonna make this work. He didn't even have the tools. He said, I'm gonna make this work.
What he said was, if you didn't have good pussy, we wouldn't be married.
Every woman is gonna say that. Anyway, he had what's called intestinal fortitude. He had intestinal fortitude. Right. I'm gonna tell you something that happened. Right. Something happened bad at the prison. He didn't come home and tell you. No. He said, hey, I'm going to make a job change. And he made a plan to make the job change, because I think Black America said it well. As men, we don't communicate the toxic shit we have to go through at work and bring that in our house, because we think we taint in the house.
Right. I get that.
So with that said, I mean, I don't want to do too much, and I apologize if I overstepped any boundaries with you.
No, you didn't. It's okay. I'm very transparent when people ask me questions. That's why you didn't go against the grain. No, I didn't, because he never said any. He never did any weird grains. He never did any weird. He never came in the house and said we freaking. He did come in the house and say one time, let's move to Texas and let's do this. I'm going to work in an airport. And he went to work in the airport. He went first. He went down there, and he was down there for 3 months, and he went there first. And then once I got done at the police station, when I worked at the police station, worked out my term, I followed him down to Texas. So that's how we did. We made compromises. We did what we had to do because we wanted to stay married.
HQ. Right? But when you saw him across the bar, that was a magical moment. That was a universal moment. Most people never get that. Everything that everybody on Instagram is wishing for, you actually live that. Yeah. But the problem is he didn't come in the package. Right. He wasn't $100,000. He wasn't a 6'6". He wasn't a 6-pack abs. No. But you saw his spirit.
Well, yeah, he was a 6-pack ab.
Whoa, slow down, sister. Get the point. The point.
I'm there. I'm sorry.
And he did some things that you didn't like, but you figured out how to adjust. Yeah. You figured out how to make him better. But your one thing that you do that a lot of women don't do, you said, I want to be married and I'm going to do everything I can to be married and make myself better. Not only did you make yourself better, you showed him what you did, and he followed your lead.
He began to trust me.
Bingo. That a lot of people they don't get that formula, and a lot of people don't see a magical person and go, that's my person.
Right. I realized that it was, men don't trust women. You may love them, you may care about them, but the trust is something that has to be built over time. And I'm realizing that even though he probably trusted me at the beginning, but it wasn't like he was all in to trust me, right? And it wasn't until we were married for a while that he was like, okay, I can relax with her. She is this goofy bitch that blah, blah, blah. And I know that's what she's going to do. And she's going to wake up with a happy disposition every day. So I know how she's going to be. So he began to trust me like that. So soon enough, I guess maybe it was years, maybe it was a year, 2, 3 years that, he would trust me. She going to the store. That's all she doing. When she disappeared, she at that fucking bookstore. I know that for a fact, right? Because we don't have cell phones back at that time, right? We don't have cell phones.
Did you have strip clubs back then? Because you started off the conversation shutting down the strip clubs. I'm still confused on that. But anyway, please continue.
No, we didn't live in a town where there was strip. We lived in a smaller town. So, but we didn't have those kind of things there. But I'm sure he visited them. He never said it to me. So I don't know whether he went to it or not. I don't give a shit. I'm not that type person. We were solid. Let's put it that way. We were solid and I didn't worry about those things. Not to say he didn't have options. I just didn't care about all of that extra shit that happened out there because he came home every night.
And you know why? And you know why, HQ? Because you built a level of trust in him, right? And he didn't ever change from the time you met him. He was in love with you until the time he passed away. And that's all I'm saying, since we've been married for 52 minutes now, is fucking trust me.
Right.
Trust me. Trust in what I have been showing you over this amount of time. So because I don't want no questions. I like to say I'm a benevolent dictator. And I tell them, it's not open for discussion. I want pizza. I want this. Well, when y'all leave the house, get everything you want because I don't want to hear anything else about it. It's not open for discussion. So trust me.
Right. And it's a matter of, okay, I'm gonna you trust me not to come crazy or incorrect on a lot of things. So I'm gonna follow you. Like I said, Fee wanted to go down to Texas we lived in Illinois. He wanted to move down to Texas because he wanted to be close to his father, right? So I was like, okay, I can't leave right now. I work at the police department. I can't leave right now, but you can leave. So what he did was he took the kids and he went down to Texas. You know, family set him up, got him set up. He got an apartment. He got all of this stuff set up. And then I was able to follow him maybe a month, 2 months later. I was able to follow him down there after I cleared up everything out here. But I trusted him to do what needed to be done down there. So I am saying, yes, I'm going to follow you wherever you're going to go, and we're going to set things up. But we just not going willy-nilly where nobody. We just.
Can I ask you a quick question? Was that when y'all moved to Texas? Was that a better move for your kids and your family?
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Oh, I knew it was because he was from a rich town. So I knew. Yeah.
Okay. And that's the problem. Like I said, that's the problem. You saying men are complaining about the women and being married. This is the problem that I'm telling you. Men aren't complaining about being married because we can all have sex. So we don't care about marrying you guys. What we're telling you is there's no wives to be married. That's a wife move. Right. That's a SOP for a wife. Right. Following her husband's instructions and what his plan is. That's not your plan. That's not your book. You wasn't thinking about Texas. Hey, babe, this is what we're going to do. I'm thinking about it. All right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. And it turned out better because I'm thinking about you in the foreground. You see what I mean?
Right.
I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about schools for the kids, horseback riding, learn to shoot, all of these things. This is what all men, and I'm going to stamp it when I say it. This is what all men are doing, but this is where the women stop their part of the doing. They stop the followership. Oh, I'm not going to do that. And then it destroys everything. Go ahead.
I mean, when he said, let's go to Texas. I was like, okay, I know he misses his dad. So this is where we're going. This is what we just going to do. And I'm going to figure out what we got to do. So he was like, I'm going to take the kids. My family is going to help me out there. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stay with my dad. And then in 2 months, we're going to have a house. And then you come down after you get done doing what you got to do, at the police department, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, I will follow you. You're going to take my kids. Because he took my 2, he took my older 2, and he took I had 2 by him and 2 that weren't his, and he took all 4 of them down there. He took all 4. No, I'm taking all 4 of mine. I'm taking all 4 of them, and then he set us up. When I got down there,
That's because he's responsible. Wait a minute, let me stop you. Because I'm explaining it to you from the man side. That's because I'm responsible for everything. Okay, we married. Right. I don't give a fuck what's going on with you. Something could happen to you while you're up here by yourself. If something happens to you and the kids while you're up here by yourself, I'm responsible for all of you guys. Mm-hmm. I feel a lot better having the littler ones around me because they're closer and we can react a little bit better.
Yeah, but he was amazing. He was an amazing father. So I knew he was an amazing father. So I knew that the kids were safe and they were going to be good with him and his family. So I knew they were going to be safe. And I moved in when we moved away from we got out of our house. I moved in with my parents and then worked for those 2 months to finish out what I had to do with the police department. Because I had to, I was a 911 operator. So I had to finish all of that. And he had training. So I did, I was like, go ahead. I was like, you sure? You gonna take all 4? Are you gonna do that? He was like, I got family that will take care of the kids, and you don't have nobody that really you would have struggled doing X, Y, and Z. My dad is retired. My mother is, my mother-in-law is retired. All of these things, so they can watch the kids. So I was like, okay, take the kids, get them in. It was summertime when we moved. It was hot as fuck, and so so he had them. So I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'll be there. And then he was there when I got off the plane, he was there with the kids, and we made a life together in Texas for the time that we were in Texas. We were there.
Can I ask a question? Can I jump in? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
So was his dad ill at the time?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to speak cosmically, and this is just how I think. It's not like everybody else. Excuse me. The DNA of the universe, to me, he was trying to connect the lineage between his kids and the last days of his dad and himself. He was trying to connect that leadership, that masculinity. That's something that's missed in culture. So he went on to do extremes to make that work because he knew he was on a timer. That's what I hear in that conversation.
Right.
That's just how I see things. With that said, I'm in.
Right. That was the point of him, doing that. Okay, I know my dad has limited time, so let me go down here, get a job. So he got a job as a head of security or something in the airport. All I know is this place in the airport. This been many, many moons ago, maybe 10, 25 years ago. So, I mean, it was a long time ago. And he got a job, at the head of something because he was a captain. He was a captain and a lieutenant in the corrections. So, and he knew all of that stuff. So he was able to get a job at the airport because he had to do a background and all that stuff, though. So that was a good move for us, but it was a good move for him, but it wasn't a good move for me. So that was when I really fell back into being a housewife, because with my schooling, that it was a small town. It was a rich small. He was from a rich small town. They had oil, that kind of thing. So, but he never really associated with doing that kind of work. But he was one of those people that got oil out of the ground, family owned oil pump and that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's why we went down there. So I did follow that person. I followed that person. So I get the following. I get it. You have to do, it's just certain SOPs, standard operating procedures, that people got to have when they get married. And I don't think people understand. And that was what I wanted people to do, was put the SOPs that they know people should follow when they get married, so that we can make a list of SOP. These are things that you need to do. And the stripper conversation came up because I thought, and I'm still thinking, that visiting a stripper club is not something that you want on the list of being okay for your spouse to be doing. It's just, to me, if you let a person go to a strip club, to me, okay, for me, it's not an act of going to the strip club that's the problem. It's what it represents in a committed relationship. Okay, when you married, you agree to prioritize your partner emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So going to a strip club,
hold on now. None of those things are in a marriage contract. Like,
hey, Black America,
absolutely none of that shit you said was in a marriage contract.
Black America, before you start, can I back up
Go
a little
ahead,
bit?
Sir.
I apologize, Black America. When you talked about your husband and the whole move and thing, and you talk about partnership, if you gave me a percentage, did he do 50% and you did 50%? How would you break that percentage down?
It would depend. It would depend on the time.
Yeah, I don't need all that. I just need a percentage. Just throw out a random percentage. Was it 50-50?
No.
He did a lot more, right? He did the heavy lifting. Make sense?
Yeah, he did.
Even though it was a partnership, it wasn't equal. That's what we're trying to say. That was one of the elements we're saying as men. It's not equal. It's equality. And a lot of people get stuck on it being equal versus equality. Because hold on, sister, girlfriend. Hold on. He kept you in the conversation. He kept you in the loop. And that's the equality part. He did more lifting to make it work But at the end of the day, everybody flourished. Right. That was my point. With that said, Black America, please continue.
But I'm saying, hold on. But I'm saying, in that marriage, at some point at some point, Fee got sick. Okay, Fee got sick. So once he got sick, I did all of the heavy lifting. I did all of the paying bill, working, making sure this X, Y, and Z. I did all of those things. So I'm saying no resentment or residual, no problem whatsoever. That's what I'm saying. In the marriage, sometimes you do 90 and they do 10. Sometimes you do 10 and they do 90. So it was never
I'm gonna speak after you.
50. Okay. So I couldn't give you a percentage because that changed. That changed.
Because you remixed the question.
I don't know.
So now you just pissed me all the way off. Like I am now up to my shin splints in festivity.
Wait a minute, hold on. You my husband. I can talk you down.
You motherfucker, you didn't do shit. You ain't did a goddamn thing when I got sick. And here's why I'm gonna tell you why. Okay? 29 years, 32 years, 30 years, I worked my finger and my ass to the fucking bone. I gave you money out my check every week.
Right.
So that you can pay bills. I don't know what the hell you did with it. I got t-shirts and socks every Father's Day and every Christmas. Bullshit. I got a bike one fucking year. Okay? When I got sick, then you had to fucking do something. Whoop-de-fucking do the last couple of years.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not denigrating anything that this person did. I am never going to take away from this person. No, I'm just never going to take away from this person. Never.
I'm not saying that you are. And
the person was better than I deserved.
No, that is exactly. He was a knuckle dragger. He was exactly what you and every other woman who was going to be decent to a fucking man. That's what you fucking deserve. You deserve that. You deserve that. If somebody, it's like my dad told me. He said one time I was at work and I felt something going on in the house. And I know you probably got a similar story. I felt something going on in the house. Somebody was trying to break in our house and my mom had shot him with the shotgun, right? Boom. Because we are connected.
Right.
I'm your nigga, you my bitch. We down like 4 flats on the car, HQ.
Right.
Don't play with me. Don't fucking play with me. I worked for you forever. Right. And yet, when I got sick, that's why after everything is cool, the kids have grown up, right. Everything is good. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to fucking die.
Right.
Because my job is done. I don't care about anything else. My job is done. I don't need to do anything else. My girls are smart and strong. My boys are healthy.
Right. I said that, yeah, that is one of the things that bothered me, that after that I don't want to talk about it. I'm not talking about it. Y'all give me y'all final thoughts.
My apologies, HQ. I think Black of America was going to make another point about something else, and I brought us to that. So Black America, do you remember your other point?
No, I wasn't finna make another point. What my point to women in general, like I said, I asked her, pushing the marriage. Right. You can't push marriage on women that think they're something. I don't believe that women are something. I believe they're like a car. Zeus, just like you and me, we love cars. A woman is our car. It is our pride and joy. If somebody sits on your car, some people will kill a man for sitting on their car in their car. You are my favorite car. I never want to let you go. I never want to give you up. You are my favorite thing in the fucking world. And don't take that for granted.
Right.
Every man wants that from a woman.
Right.
We all want that from and some guys just want three. I mean, three. No, 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 no. Some guys just want that one woman, but the followership has to be there. When a woman say, "Well, I can do this, or I can do that, or by myself, or I need a man that does this, that, and the third,"
Right.
then what do you need me for? Just
No.
like when I had to hang up that TV,
Right.
the motherfuckers didn't need me to do it. But they make me feel needed.
Right.
You see what I mean? Because they know that's part of the program. They know that's part of the job. You women, if you got a man at home and you're in the chat, make your man feel needed.
Right.
Else he's not going to be there, and he's not going to have a good quality of life. And that's all I got to say.
I love these conversations. I appreciate the people in the chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody who steps on the panel, because you have to be transparent. And these are tough conversations for us to flesh out. And we shouldn't all agree, but we should all leave with a golden nugget. And I think what you're saying is, you're sharing with us a way to think, and we're sharing with you another way to think. And I love that. So with that said, I'm in, and as always, I'm grateful, and I love the lamp.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
The lamp is right here.
I'm gonna say one more thing, and this is gonna be kind of
What?
really, really touching. So when my dad got diagnosed with cancer, we had a huge party, right? Mm-hmm. So all my girls came, all of the kids. It was, I don't know, I might have had like 12 kids at that time, right? I don't know. It was a lot of them, right? And so I had, like a couple of my kids, I got them like 2 days apart. A couple of them are like 6 months apart. Like, mm-hmm. I am the original street nug, right?
Right.
So my dad is playing with all of the grandchildren, and he picked up one of the kids, right? And I said, "Oh, Dad, that's not one of my kids, right?" I said, "That's one of her kids, because one of my kids' mother had a baby by some dude."
Right.
And he says, "Is this little boy underneath your covering?" Mm-hmm. And I say, "Yeah, like he's fucking here." You know what I mean? He was probably about 6-8 months old, and my dad is, picking him up and stretching him out. Mm-hmm. And he says, "This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to live forever." Because what Zeus was saying and what I'm saying is, those things that we learn as men get passed down, mm-hmm. and they get passed on to our kids, right? And right. once we done our job, it's time for our son to say. So that's all.
Right. I thank you guys. I got to go eat today. I got to go eat. It's like I'm almost. Ugh.
All right. Love you guys. Peace.
All right. Thank you. So I'm going to say this one thing. When men say women don't follow, I think they mean women like to challenge and question and don't automatically go along with what a man says and decides to do. Okay. But it's not really, for me, it's not really trying to be stubborn. I'm a A-type personality where I have to know mostly everything. I have to know everything, because then I'm not comfortable if I don't know all the angles. Okay. And it's not a matter of questioning you or your authority, because I really won't do that. I will ask you, have you thought about this? Have you thought about, have you thought all the angles through? Because I'm one of those people, I think of all the angles And then I come up with like I said, I've said this before. If you tell me I want to be a doctor, you want to be a doctor, then I'll tell you how to get there quick in the straight line to being a doctor without all the rigmarole. Okay. No, it's just an A-type personality where I have to know it's not a matter of you. It's not a matter of not trusting you. It's a matter of me being comfortable in wide open spaces, and I'm not comfortable in wide open spaces. I'm only comfortable in stuff that has color. And yes, it's a need for control. I get that. I get it completely, right? I get that completely. Okay. And I get that following somebody is a matter of trust. It's not a matter. It's not a matter of not feeling confident or comfortable in a man's decisions. Okay. It's just hard for someone like me to just say yes. Just say yeah. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue with I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not gonna argue like that. I'm gonna come with logical questions or logical things. Have you thought about this? Am I going to be able to work here? Am I going to be able to use my degree? Are you going to be able to use yours? What is the exchange rate? What is this? And those are the kind of questions that would bother me. And I would have to know that on my own, right? And it wouldn't be a matter of saying I'm not going. The minute my husband said, okay, Renee, I'm from Sweden, and I've lived here in Sweden for 20 some years, and now I want to go back home to my home country, and I want you to come with me. I'm all in. I'm all in. But just so you know, that with the personality like mine, I need to know I need to know what kind of jobs they got. Do they have similar jobs to what I got here? What kind of money can I make? What do I need to do? What do I need to wear? All of those things. I'm going to find those out before I even make that kind of move. Right. And as I explained just now, when Fee wanted to move to Texas, I just followed him there. You know, I just followed him to Texas. He wanted to go to Texas. He got a job at the airport as security, head of security, whatever. I just followed him there. I was working at police station. I was working 911 operator. I was making damn good money. That was in the 90s. I was making like $20-some an hour. That was a lot of money back then. I quit that job to follow him down there. So it's not a matter of not following. I just needed to know the logistics and all of the other extra stuff before I moved down there, which is a totally different thing from moving to a different country. But that being said, we're done with that. Does anybody have any SOPs? SOPs, standard operating procedures that they do or you think we should have when we get married? After you get married, what are some SOPs that you would think that would be standard for a marriage? A lot of people don't think anything is standard. They fly by the seat of their pants. That's why a lot of marriages fail, because you feel like going to a strip club. A woman told me at the beginning of this live, somebody said, oh, I don't mind my husband going to a strip club. He can go to a strip club. I said, what? And I said to myself, maybe that's why your marriage won't last, because it's a different thing. And I still say the same thing. Strip clubs are designed to create an illusion of intimacy, desire, wants, which can make a wife feel like she's being replaced, which will bring on the jealousy. Same thing with a man. And once the trust has been chipped at, your marriage is going down the tubes. Get somebody at the strip club. Shut up, freak. Anyway. Thank you all for coming. We'll figure something out. Also, share, like, subscribe. Also, I need you guys to put in the chat, in this chat somehow, figure what kind of show, a series of a show that we can do reviews on. We can all watch it, figure it out, hear about it, and then do a review on it. Something good. I want to be able to do something good, a review on a good show or a good movie or a good something. Not necessarily a marriage or a dating thing, but just a show. Maybe a mob show, maybe a sci-fi show, something that we can do a review on. I would love to do a review like that. Every week we come in and we do one show regarding the review of the show. Something weird, anything. So put it in the chat. Somebody said Mobland, Mobland, Mobland. I don't know where that's. Well, I gotta look that up. But anyway, thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. Hit the like button in and out. Hit the like button in and out. Please and thank you.